Transatlantic Talk with Caroline Faraday.
Yeah, Caroline Faraday. Good day.
Well, good day, good morning, good evening, whatever it is. Hello.
Yes, you're looking very sparkly today.
I am. Thanks.
Yeah, you look great. Now, lots going on. Well, no, you always look great, actually, but that's, I think I just dug a hole and then jumped in it. Trump, obviously Donald Trump, there's so much that we need to talk about. He has made some very interesting appointments.
Yeah, that's one word for it. It's warp speed, isn't it? Like, it's not even in the White House yet, and we're already learning about his cabinet picks. And what we are learning about his cabinet picks is that he is valuing loyalty over experience from the people that he has picked here. These are people who've been very close to him and supported him. Some even who've sort of gone from criticising him to then supporting him, like Marco Rubio and actually Kennedy as well, who've kind of gone from being critics, who've now gone to having very senior positions in his cabinet. There's a lot to cover, as you say, but some quite interesting ones. Matt Gaetz is the Attorney General. Well, you could have knocked me down with a feather because I did not see that one coming. Matt Gaetz has been such a controversial person, even within the Republican Party. He is somebody who was facing allegations of having sex with an underage girl. That report was due to come out in 3 days from the House Ethics Committee, and by leaving his seat, it seems that report will never see the light of day.
Wow.
And not only that, he is going to be head of the Justice Department, the people who were investigating him.
I know. So this was allegedly paying for sex with an underage girl, also allegedly using illegal drugs, also allegedly misusing campaign funds. Yeah.
And then his buddy that he is alleged to have done all of this with is literally in jail for 11 years.
Wow.
And all these payments are on Venmo. But sure, let's put him in charge of the Justice Department.
And I said they were interesting choices, definitely. Let's also talk about Trump's choice of pro-Moscow Tulsi Gabbard. This is as his intelligence chief.
Again, another huge loyalty pick. She was somebody who was actually running as a Democratic candidate, and she switched over. She was with him a lot on the campaign trail. She has some military experience. She has no intelligence experience, no managerial experience either. He's put her in a role where she will be running his daily intelligence briefings from all of those 18 agencies. And she's pretty controversial because she's had quite a sort of pro-Russia, anti-Ukraine point of view. There's a lot of concerns, apparently, within the intelligence community about the security and whether there will be leaks and how what the security implications are of that appointment.
It's extraordinary because she has repeated Russian propaganda over Ukrainian biolabs. She backed Moscow's case for war. She met with the Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad, and she dismissed reports of him using chemical weapons. Again, a really weird backstory and an odd choice.
Yeah, there's some really extraordinary choices. His pick for Defence Secretary is a guy called Pete Hegseth. Again, somebody with no leadership and management experience.
I mean, at least he's a military veteran.
She's a military vet as well. But like, you know, lots of people are military vets. It doesn't mean they're going to run the Defence Department.
But he's also a Fox News.
Them for their service. But what he really is a television pundit. You're saying Harrison for Prime Minister. It's no different.
It is no different.
He is a TV pundit that they've put in there for now.
Yeah. I mean, Sir Richard Dearlove, the former head of MI6, we're going back to Tulsi Gabbard here, says this is a maverick appointment. She has no experience of intelligence and security. Philip Ingram, friend of this programme, a former senior intelligence and security officer in the British Army, said, I think appointing anyone with zero intelligence experience to be director of national intelligence should be an alarm call. Hamish de Bretton Gordon, a former commander of NATO's chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear battalion, said the US-UK alliance could be impacted by some of these choices.
Yeah, I mean, she's somebody who has supported positions in opposition to sort of US positions and supported US adversaries. So, yeah, it is a surprising choice. It isn't the only surprising choice.
No, and we'll talk about that after this break. More from Caroline after this break. Don't go anywhere. This is Weekend Breakfast. Now, Caroline, we were talking about all of these appointments. Pete's Hegseth, for example, this Fox News host, Tulsi Gabbard. We spoke about Elon Musk. Now, obviously very close to the new president, but of course he and Vivek Ramaswamy have teamed up.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one. Firstly, because he's appointed them to a department that doesn't exist yet. But what he wants them to do is form this situation where they say, here's all the cutbacks that we can make in government. You could go through the kind of ethics of having somebody who's got a ton of government contracts like Elon has anyway, and him saying, these ones are essential, my ones, and the other ones are not. He's not got like an official government position, so he hasn't got to go through those usual checks. These two are just teaming up. Some observers have noted, of course, that they've got two people doing the job of one person.
Yeah.
In the efficiency department.
That's brilliant. Hey, I love that.
Yeah. It's given me a chuckle. But anyway, their allocated role is to kind of find government efficiencies. And would you, lo and behold, one of the things that they're going to look at is the FBI. Well, of course, who does Donald Trump somewhat dislike? The FBI. I'm laughing because it's almost comical, isn't it? Of course, they raided his house. They raided Mar-a-Lago, the FBI. And so you can see now, like, who is on his target list, where he's put, you know, the Justice Department. Well, he's put a Trump loyalist in charge of that. He has now created this department, and one of the things they're going to look at is the FBI. I mean, he knows who he's going for.
I mean, the counter argument to this is obviously government is bloated, and you do need to have cost cutting and savings in there. And Ramaswamy, of course, his catchphrase throughout the whole election was "shut it down." So here we've got, and of course this is named after something that Elon Musk is very proud of. This DOGE, or Department of Government Efficiency. It was the brainchild of Musk as well. But it shows, as you said right at the beginning, this is about loyalty, isn't it, to Trump?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And also sort of, you know, Elon and Trump has sort of got in there together. Notice he's named it the same as one of his cryptocurrency situations. Don't ask me about cryptocurrencies. I don't want to get into it. And so that's all gone up as well because he's given it the same name. So, I mean, there's all sorts of things where you could get into the ethics of even, you know, what's going on with that. Is government bloated? Of course it is. Are there cutbacks that are possible? Yes, of course they are. Are these two people the right people to establish what those are? I mean, Elon Musk went into when he bought Twitter and pretty much got rid of half of the workforce. Has it made it better?
Well, I mean, it's interesting.
I don't know anyone who says yes.
Well, you won't have seen this front page of the FT this morning. Musk's wealth to hit new heights as deals fire up SpaceX and AI. Two of his private companies set to secure multi-billion-dollar jumps in valuation. SpaceX is going to go up enormously. It's going to go up $40 billion US. The AI has raised $5 billion for the. It says here has raised $5 billion at a valuation of $45 billion, double its valuation a few months ago. I mean, he's very smart.
Almost like he's profited really well out of that relationship, isn't it?
Almost. Let's just talk about Donald Trump and the criminal case, because he was due to be sentenced, I think, later this month. What happens to that?
Yeah, that's a great question, David. What does happen to that? I don't think the judge knows, to be honest with you. He's got this unprecedented situation where this sentencing was due to take place. This was the Stormy Daniels case that happened. You remember for the payments, the business payments, and for falsifying business documents. So what are we going to do? He was convicted, but he hasn't been sentenced yet. Is that sentencing going to happen? I suspect not. But there are a number of options available for the judge. One of the things that Trump's team want is for it to be transferred to a federal court. that would give them an opportunity to have it kicked out. The judge could kick it out altogether anyway. He could kick the can down the road and just say, well, we will sentence him after his presidency is over. He could dismiss the case. He could, and there is a slight chance, sentence him, but something kind of light. But in the next sort of few days, we will get sort of in the next week, we will get more of an insight into what those next moves are, because there are a few that are available on the table. But it is, whenever have we been in a position where there's the next president of the United States and you're saying, well, OK, what's his sentence going to be for his felonies?
You can't make it up, can you? Let's talk about the Oscars, shall we?
Yeah, let's keep it light at the end. Why not? Next Oscars, first time out for Conan O'Brien. He was announced today as the next Oscars host. Do you know who he is? He's the chat show host. Yeah. So the last couple of times it's been Jimmy Kimmel. Conan been on late night for a bit. He's actually sort of struggled to find his footing. He's not on mainstream as much, Conan O'Brien now. But he has been around for a while, and he's been a big comedy writer. He's thought of as being very funny. And so they're obviously going down that comedy route for the host. They've tried all sorts, haven't they? I think Elon was a cracking host. Actually, Jimmy Kimmel was a very solid host. They've used him a couple of times. They've had a couple of duds. Anne Hathaway, sadly, was one of the ones that didn't work out. That wasn't a good year. But it is it's Conan O'Brien. It will be in March.
Well, there we are. Something to look forward to. Rather like I look forward to seeing you every week, Caroline.
Bless you.
Thank you so...
Send that back at you.
Bless you, bless you. Caroline Faraday there. That was today's Transatlantic Talk.
Transatlantic Talk with Caroline Faraday.